The new British Finance Minister, Jeremy Hunt, has warned that there are difficult decisions ahead on spending after the turmoil that followed his predecessor's mini-budget. Mr Hunt was appointed by Britain's embattled Prime Minister Liz Truss yesterday after she sacked Kwasi Kwarteng. He also indicated that some taxes would rise and that spending wouldn't increase as much as he had liked. Let's listen to what he had to say.
There were some mistakes made in the last few weeks. That's why I'm sitting here. It was a mistake to cut the top rate of tax at a period when we're asking everyone to make sacrifices. And it was a mistake to fly blind and not to back up the economic plans that were announced with an independent forecast from the Office for Budget Responsibility. Both those things have been addressed. And now what we need to do is to try and have growth with stability, create the stability that will allow long-term growth to happen. We're going to have to make difficult decisions on spending. It's not going to rise by as much as we would have liked, and we're going to have to ask all government departments for even more efficiencies. And by the same merit, we're not going to be able to cut taxes as quickly as we wanted to, and some taxes will have to go up. That is a very difficult message, but I think we have to be honest with people that if we want to keep the rises in interest rates as low as possible, then we have to give certainty to the markets that we really can fund every penny of our plans.
Well, let's cross live now to Downing Street. Our political correspondent Ione Wells is there for us. A clip there summarising some of what Mr Hunt had to say. Help us unpick that.
Well, I think one of the standout things about what Jeremy Hunt had to say this morning was how much it differs from some of the things which we've heard from Liz Truss for the last few months. He said that on tax there would have to be difficult decisions, that tax wouldn't go down as much as some people had hoped, and that some taxes may even go up. He said on public spending that there were also going to be difficult decisions, and he'd be asking every government department to find efficiencies, and I think we can read into that there might be some difficult cuts coming down the road. He also said on things like defence spending that he couldn't necessarily rule out that they may also have to find efficiencies, contrary to what Liz Truss has pledged throughout the summer, that she wants to increase defence spending. So I think all of this leaves this big question of what does this mean for Liz Truss's big economic vision, the one which she stood on a platform of over the summer to become the new party leader and Prime Minister. And I think that is the sort of difficult question for both him and Liz Truss going forward. Now, there are two issues really that both of them need to try and answer to in the next couple of weeks. One is how they reassure the markets, and that will be the big job of Jeremy Hunt on the 31st of October, where he outlines some more plans about how to try and pay off more government debt and bring that down, how to fund some of the tax cuts that they are planning. The second question, though, is how to get the parliamentary party back on side when at the moment it is deeply divided. Those MPs who liked Liz Truss's tax cutting plans are annoyed that she's U-turned on some of them. Those who didn't like them still don't feel like she's the best person for the job right now.
And linked to what you are describing for us there, the past 24 hours we have heard time and time again that markets respond not to the people but to the policies. Has Jeremy Hunt said enough, shared enough so far for the markets, for his fellow MPs to feel like he's going to get a grip on this?
Well, I think certainly he is been seen by some of his parliamentary colleagues as somebody who might buy them some time. He's somebody who is quite widely trusted in the Conservative Party. He certainly has indicated certain things today which may offer some reassurance to the markets that his plans are going to be funded. He's talked about finding efficiencies and savings, for example, in government spending. He's talked about tax cuts being not as significant as they might have been previously. He's talked about as well some taxes perhaps even needing to go up. So I think that certainly is sort of some rhetoric which may reassure the markets and some of his MPs at this time. However, as I say, I think the key thing will be how much can he reassure them on the 31st of October when he outlines his full economic plan. I think, though, the other question here is that, as you say, markets do respond to policies, but also to the general feeling of how stable the UK government is at the moment. And I think given the febrile situation, given there is a lot of upset among Conservative MPs, that is something which still may be worrying investors in the markets as well.
Ione Wells, very good to get your expertise as always. Thank you.